The battlefield was quiet now. Smoke curled from shattered terrain, mingling with the bitter metallic scent of blood and scorched metal. Distant gunfire had faded. In the silence, only the soft hum of dying drones and the occasional crackle of fire remained. Lieutenant Reese Calder lay half-buried beneath a collapsed supply drone, blood soaking through the torn fabric of his uniform. His left side was a mess of bruised flesh and torn muscle. He was barely conscious, drifting in and out, his thoughts sticky and sluggish. A figure emerged from the smoke. Slender, lithe, blue-skinned, clad in organic-looking armor that shimmered with a subtle iridescence. She was one of them. A Virelli. The enemy. Reese tried to move, but his body betrayed him. He could only watch as the Virelli knelt beside him, her 4 fingers brushing the air above his wound with care, not contact. Her large, black eyes shimmered with something that looked too close to concern. "Do not be afraid," she said. Her voice was musical, lightly accented. "I am not here to finish your death." He tried to speak, but only a dry, ragged cough came out. The Virelli gently touched the side of his face, not skin to skin, but with a film of bioplasma that hovered like a second skin between them. Warmth bloomed across his cheek. "You are torn. I will repair." Reese blinked slowly. Was this some kind of experiment? Interrogation prep? Or maybe she was one of the defectors, like the intelligence briefings mentioned. Virelli who had grown disillusioned with the war. Still, she was touching him. He felt it, her energy washing over his wound. There was a pulsing in the injury site. Not painful, just swelling. She placed her hand above the bloated wound, her fingers beginning to glow. A thin, web-like filament of light extended into the wound, teasing apart layers of trauma like a surgeon's scalpel made of photons. Then it twitched. The swelling bulged outward. A ripple moved through it, like something under the skin had awakened. The Virelli healer flinched. Her glow faltered. Reese felt it too, his body arching involuntarily. A sensation like static, like a live current crawling just under the flesh. Not pain, but stimulation, too much. Not healing. Not right. "The reaction is unstable," the Virelli murmured. "Unusual." The wound pulsed again. It quivered like a mouth gagging on a word it couldn't form. Reese cried out. This time not from pain, but something confusing. Something alive inside him. What are you doing to me?" he gasped. She looked alarmed now, her fingers retreating slightly. "This is not my doing. Your body, your species, resists. It does not like being rewritten." Rewritten. The Virelli looked at him with sorrow. "My healing threads replicate what is lost. But human tissue does not conform to energy scaffolding. It adapts, improvises, and sometimes rebels." The swelling rose like a tide. Reese's veins darkened. The skin near the wound took on a strange translucency, revealing fast-moving fluid beneath. His muscles twitched, and he felt a surge of unnatural strength pulse through his arm. Then he heard it. A voice. Inside him. Not his own. Function detected. Purpose. Repair. Expand. Enhance. Reese turned to her, eyes wide. "There's something growing in me." The Virelli reached into a pouch at her hip and pulled a glimmering shard of crystal. She snapped it between her hands and it lit up with a steady hum. A diagnostic tool. She passed it over him, and her expression changed to horror. "It is not healing," she whispered. "It is evolving." An hour later, they had retreated into the shell of a ruined transport vessel. She deactivated her armor's tracking beacon and set up a shimmer field to mask their life signs. She didn't say why. Reese guessed she feared what might come for them both, human or Virelli. Reese sat slumped against a steel wall, the wound now completely sealed, but not normal. His side had become unnaturally hard, like armor fused to flesh. Strange symbols glowed faintly under the skin. He felt, aware of things he shouldn't be. Light frequencies. Air pressure. Her heartbeat. "What's your name?" he asked. She hesitated. "Tala." "Tala," he repeated. "So, you're a healer?" She nodded. "I was born to be. Our caste learns the art of molecular realignment from birth. I have healed many species, but never yours." "What happened to me?" he asked, holding up his now metallic hand. "The thread I used is a living matrix," she said quietly. "It adapts to host biology. It reads the wound, replaces tissue. But humans, you're reactive. Your immune systems fight, adapt, mutate. It forced the thread to evolve. It stopped being medicine. It became symbiotic. So I'm infected." Tala looked away. "You are merged." Rhys absorbed that in silence. The swelling had become something more. Something alive. He could feel it moving inside, speaking to his nerves in ways he didn't understand. He clenched his new hand, and a ripple of blue light followed. The wall where he touched melted slightly, then reformed. "I don't think this is just healing anymore." Tala studied him carefully. "You have become a hybrid. This is not what I intended." He grunted. "Seems like the kind of thing that could win a war." Tala's gaze snapped to him. "That is exactly what they will think." "You mean your people?" "And yours. No one will see you as a patient, only as a weapon." They stared at each other for a long moment. Then the shimmer field pulsed. Tala stood, tense. "They're scanning." "Yours or mine?" She didn't answer. Minutes later, a squad of Virelli drones dropped into the ruined vessel. They looked nothing like Tala, brutal, angular, wrapped in hardened plating. Their weapons were integrated into their limbs. One scanned Rhys and let out a mechanical buzz. "Contamination confirmed. Subject is crossbound. Terminate." Tala stepped in front of Rhys. "No," she shouted. "He is stable. The thread has harmonized. He is not hostile. Hybridization is heresy. Infection is irreversible. Anomaly must be purged." Rhys rose. His new limb glowed. Before he could think, his arm raised itself and fired. A bolt of kinetic plasma erupted from his palm. The drone disintegrated. He stared at his own hand in shock. "Holy shit." The other drones responded instantly. But Tala was faster, her fingers dancing through the air, releasing pulses of blue light that slowed the drone's targeting systems. "Run!" she yelled. "I'm not leaving you. We both won't survive this unless you move." Something in him obeyed. Not the voice, his own will. He leapt, faster than a human should. Metal bent around him as he ran through the ship's hull, the swelling in his side shifting like a coiled spring ready to strike again. Outside, Rhys collapsed. His side pulsed, hot and alive. Tala limped after him moments later, a scorch mark across her shoulder. They both knew this was just the beginning. They escaped into the wilderness of the ruined zone, a no-man's land between human and Virelli territory. Tala fashioned a shelter from woven energy and scavenged tech. Rhys learned to sleep sitting up, always with one eye open, always listening to the voice of the thing inside him. Days passed. Rhys could feel the swelling, the symbiote, expanding its reach. But not in conquest. It consulted him. Asked permission. Offered him strength when needed. Protected him. It was no longer just a wound, it was a bond. Tala taught him how to control it. How to shape it. They became partners, hunter and guide, patient and healer.